There are two people on the stage, only one candidate, however. One of the candidates is not here, but he has asked a volunteer to make a statement, a representation on his behalf. There will be no questions after the representation by his volunteer. He will be leaving the stage, and then we will go directly to the candidate. Sir, if you please start.
Hi there.
Oh, you have a minute. You'll get a blink in 50 seconds.
I'm Robert Bayshant, and I'm representing Andrew Martin for number 9. And the reason he's not here, he's went to Florida to see his mom who is sick, and it's her birthday, and so I thought it was important to be there. And he said to let you know that he's big on Veterans Affairs. He's presently working with a person on PSD. Yeah. Anyway, drawing blanks here. He's been in the state for about 4 or 5 years now, and he's an accountant, worked on the Veterans Board.
1 second.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you very much. The candidate we have, Victoria, why don't you get a minute to introduce yourself to the panel? Tell us why you're here.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to, get the endorsement from the veterans in politics. I really appreciate that. I'm running for Assembly District 9. I am a former business owner with over 26 years of business experience. My husband is a veteran. He is currently right now in Afghanistan. He's not in the military right now, but he is serving in Afghanistan. My father was a veteran, my grandfather. I have several relatives that are veterans, and this is an important issue for me, and an endorsement. Thank you.
Let's start at this end for a change. Melanie, you're...
Sure.
Clark County, I need a microphone. Over there. Sorry. Good afternoon, Victoria. Clark County has a large homeless population, and a large percentage of our homeless are veterans. What have you done in your community to assist our homeless veterans or veterans in general?
Well, I haven't personally gone out to assist them, but I would like to be more involved, and I think I'd also like to meet with some of the agencies and see what I can do to help the homeless veterans, because these are men and women that go to fight for our freedom, and I think we are responsible as a state and a country to take care of our veterans.
Do you feel, and if so, why do you feel it's important to have more business owners in legislature?
I feel like it's important because right now we have one of the highest unemployment rates in the nation. I think that some of our legislature doesn't really understand what taxing and regulating the small businesses do when they are the backbone of our state and our country. And since we've hit a big economic downturn, it seems that they are constantly being regulated, taxed, and they're raising business licenses. I don't think they understand what businesses go through, and until they have certainty that this is going to stop, they are not going to expand, they're not going to hire, which won't help our veterans, and it won't help the unemployment population of the state of Nevada.
A lot of the historically, a lot of the business that has come to Nevada has come from out of the state. We've attracted companies and people from other states. What would you do in the assembly, or what would you strive to do to make Nevada more attractive than California and Utah and all the other states that we may want to steal businesses from?
Well, that's a good question, because I came here because at the time it was a business-friendly state. We had a 4.2 unemployment rate. And so I think we have to start with, again, deregulating or blocking more regulations and taxes for businesses so it becomes a business-friendly state again. I also think we need to improve our education. If we improve our education, and not, right now we're 48th among the worst, I think what would happen is we would attract more businesses to come and move to Nevada. It's a great state, And we can bring it back to prosperity if we find solutions and not Band-Aids. You know, it seems that we're putting Band-Aids on some of the problems instead of finding real solutions.
Could you name something along those lines? What specifically would benefit us the most economically to either repeal as a law or end as a program in the state of Nevada?
Well, one of the latest things which didn't pass through the legislature but actually went through the NRS statutes of charging small businesses now a business fee, license fee. I think that was a big mistake because now you have your home businesses that are being taxed and regulated. I also think that, don't quote me, it's AB 273 and AB 284, which were having people who were not paying their mortgages rather than deal with the bank, but now they are tied from foreclosing on those properties. So I think those are kind of Band-Aids, but I don't think they're real solutions to the problems.
Victoria, thanks a lot for being here. The question I have for you is, can you give us the boundaries of District 9, just for the listeners, since after redistricting?
Sure. It used to be part of Scott Hammond's old district. However, it's been divided up into, I think, 4 or 5 different districts. It's Flamingo down to Blue Diamond, Durango to the mountains. There is no incumbent at this time.
Okay, and just another quick question. Do you think that the redistricting actually addressed the concerns that a lot of people were saying that we have too many people in one district and not enough in another? Do you think that this last redistricting addressed those issues?
What I've seen, they're pretty evenly populated, if that's the question.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
The National Guard falls under the auspice of the legislature, and obviously a lot of them are coming back with PTSD and injuries and are not being treated by the Veterans Administration. What would you do as a legislature to address that issue of taking care of National Guard troops that are not being taken care of by the federal governments and the VA?
Well, first of all, again, I'd like to say that these young men and women go out and fight for our freedoms, and we need to take care of them. And I would like to investigate what the policies are right now and see how we can improve them. That's how I would address it, because again, I think that's one of the most important things that we need to do.
A lot of the expenses are falling on county courts, county hospitals, police shootings, all kinds of things crimes are popping up because of the failure of the VA. So would you support in some way holding the federal government responsible financially, perhaps, for the cost the seats are incurring as a result of the VA's failure to take care of returning National Guard troops?
Yeah, I think that's a real possibility.
Hi, Victoria. Thank you for coming today. I would like to know there seems to be such an interference with federal government these days in state laws. And we, the people, the citizens, really need somebody on our side to help fight for us. The federal government just keeps stepping on our toes at every turn, and with the new legislation that you mentioned, the state keeps passing daily. We really need somebody on our side to fight for us and to get rid of some of this restriction. It's just strangling not just the business sector, but the private sector suffers as a direct result. So what could you do you think, to fight against the federal government's laws that are strangling us, and some of the things that they're doing, maybe not even directly the laws that they're passing that affect us, but just the policies that they're enacting now, the administration is enacting now with executive orders and things that are absolutely unconstitutional.
I completely agree with you. I think the executive orders and everything else is unconstitutional. I'm not sure exactly everything I can do as a state legislature, but I will promise to try to do everything I can, because I completely agree with that statement. Thank you.
Victoria, you think you've been treated fairly and professionally by this group?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to hopefully getting the endorsement.
Thank you very much. Panel, we are about 6 minutes ahead.